Today I'm going to show you guys how to make Don Toliver type beats. BPM, I would say like 120 to around like 150 is pretty solid for these types of beats. Now in terms of sounds, I'm going to be using my new bank, Lost Nights. I've been working on this bank for months, really carefully crafting each of these sounds, and well, I'm just going to let it speak for itself because I think it's pretty fire. But we're going to use this pad called September and just lay out some nice basic chords. In terms of effects, add some RC20, kickstart to add a little bit of additional movement, cutting out some lows. The next, I'm using a very unique sound from the bank. It's called Sounds Amazing. It sounds pretty dope. And for this sound, I'm just layering it over the chords and kind of changing the length based on how long I want it to, sustain. Adding some shaper box to pan it between each ear, and then another EQ to cut out some lows. I specifically made these sounds so you wouldn't have to, throw 50 different effects on it to make it sound good. Our next sound called Cyberpunk, kind of like a plucky synth. And you might be wondering how I came up with where to put these notes and whatnot. This is basically just this chord right here that I've been using this entire time. I chopped it up a little bit and just had it move up an octave, kind of in a pattern, just because it kind of kept it a little bit more interesting. I added a little bit more effects to this sound, just some dreamy lo-fi piano. It's like my favorite thermal preset. Echo Boy Jr., just to add a little bit of echo, delay. Cut out some lows again. Then the next sound I used was this sound called Sirens. Right now it sounds a little chaotic, but that's kind of intentional, and once we add the drums, it'll kind of, reel everything in. So this melody right here is just repeating the same notes throughout, and I just picked out some notes from the chords down here, mainly. Added a little bit of portal. Usually don't turn it all the way up because it'll sound bad. And then also added some halftime as well. And then just an EQ again. And then next I went to Arcade and just grabbed a few really basic sounds. Now for drums, I did a cool little 808 trick that adds like tons of bounce. But before I did that, I just added this really basic kind of drum pattern right here. So I'm just using my drum kit, Glitch. Alright, so let me play these 808s. So there's a few things I did here. First, here you can see that the kick and the 808 are not hitting on the same spots everywhere. Like there's no kick right here. And this just adds some additional bounce throughout. Some cool little sauce, but you gotta make sure you're doing this correctly, otherwise it's gonna sound really bad and distorted. Pick out your 808s, just press this reverse button right here. And then you're gonna wanna go to this little wrench tool. Make sure that this number is the same for the other 808s. That was 10 and 10, and this is 10 and 10. And this is just gonna stop them from running into each other and playing when the other one's playing. Pick out parts where you kind of want the reverse sound to happen. Have it playing when no other 808 is playing. So that's what I did over here.